Now, today, the grieving families of the Nottingham attack victims begin a fresh fight for justice with a new legal team.
Yes. So, yesterday marked 1 year since the deaths of students Barnaby Webber and Grace O'Malley Kumar and school caretaker Ian Coates. Memorials took place across Nottingham with the families walking alongside hundreds from the city, all paying tribute to the victims.
And we're now joined by Barnaby's mum, Emma Webber, and Neil Hudgell, a lawyer representing the families of the victims. Emma, I have to say, I've dealt with a number of cases for victims, and it's impossible to stand in your shoes. Yesterday was the first anniversary since the death of Barnaby and Grace and Ian. You took part in just what must have been profoundly challenging and emotional memorial events.
Yeah.
Just help us, insofar as you can share with everybody and me, what that feels like.
Yeah, it's really difficult to explain because unless you're in it, I don't think you can comprehend what it's really like. You showed a clip of yesterday morning. They walked down Ilkeston Road. And
Are you OK? I can imagine,
I can see
you
Charlie
were there,
and I
but
can
seeing yourself there...
I didn't go. That's just what I was going to say. I could not go down that road. I went there last year and I said my piece and I sent my love, and that was it. I never want to go down that road again. But those guys are braver than me, and they did it yesterday. And when Dave came back to the hotel and said, sorry, I'll try not to cry. And there was hundreds of people, and all those beautiful kids, these beautiful students were there with their flowers. And there's so much care. And the people of Nottingham, not the agencies, but the people of Nottingham are just so amazing. He loved that city, and I know why he loved that city, but yesterday was difficult. But the build-up to it was almost worse because it was that awful, this time last year, or this, and the things that you think about, you can only, in your darkest moments, imagine. But once
So you mean this time last year, the world was a very different place?
Yeah, this time last year, he was doing this, and the pub that we went to, the Rose and Crown in Nottingham yesterday, and had some drinks and some curry with the students and all the families members that were there. But that was Barney and Grace's favourite pub. It's a uni stronghold in Nottingham. But these things make me laugh. It's the 11th of June last year. He managed to get himself a parking ticket in that car park. And
you sent him a text going, it's time for a summer job. He was off to play cricket, and it's every sort of parent's nightmare. And one of the things is you talking about the grief, how you turn that into activism. But coming back here to that moment, you talk about, very movingly, that last text that he sent. I wonder, when you think about that...
I haven't looked at it. I'll tell you, the last time I looked at that text was the 11th of January, which is his birthday, and I haven't since. And I sent you guys some new photographs because I just want people to see who he is and his brother. But it's unfathomable. You said it's every parent's worst nightmare, which it is. Sinead O'Malley Kumar says it's every parent's worst reality. And it is, because you just can't. No one can imagine until you're in this awful...
Can you almost not believe it's true?
No, sometimes I still... said this yesterday, I still don't really believe it, but...
You feel like you're going to wake up from the nightmare and find it's your reality.
I wish
when you say you don't look at that last text, do you sort of keep it on your phone as almost...
Yeah, I do. I was watching the news last week where there was talk about mobile phone crime, and the swiping of phones. And I just thought, you could take anything, but I couldn't lose that. God. Because it's that precious. And what it was, the last 3 things he put were yes, yes, eye roll emoji. And that's because I said, really looking forward to you coming home for the summer. I know you want to go to your holidays. I know you want to go down, and play golf and do all the cricket, but you need to get a summer job too. Yes, yes, I roll emoji. And, that flippant, momentary thing becomes...
an absolute sort of inscribed in stone kind of moment in time.
It's every parent's nightmare, or every parent's reality. But one of the things you've done in a very short period of time is, with muscle, elbow, and with some legal help, forced a review of what happened.
Yeah.
Now, there are a number of reviews that have taken place, but just to be clear so people understand, the person, the man that killed your son, was convicted of manslaughter, not murder, because of diminished responsibility, just to be clear. In other words, that he didn't have the mental capacity to know what he was doing, and consequently, he's now in hospital. If he gets better, so people understand, that means he'll be released.
And the statistics show that too, Rob. That's what's terrifying is... we heard words in a court of law, and I don't feel like words like probably and unlikely are very reassuring words to hear from a judge. But that you're unlikely to be released. It's, you know, probable you'll spend the rest of your life.
Especially so because you're living the improbable.
Yeah.
You're living the unlikely. So, yeah.
But the statistics are that within 10 years, 87% of people on hospital indefinite orders are out. And within 20 years, 98%. That means Callacane is going to be out, and he'd be the same age as me, potentially. And I understand we have a fight now to make him the next Ian Brady, so that successive governments and ministers, you know, will continue that.
Now, I hear you on that. At this stage, the Court of Appeal have said no to any criminal appeal, but that's not the end of it, because here's the other thing. Now, you've got Neil alongside you. I'm going to bring you in now.
To remind me of people that don't know exactly Neil's reputation.
To say the very least. I mean, you've been, something of a hero in the legal profession, representing the underdog, be that in the post office or, you know, the families in the Manchester terror attack inquiries. Now, one of the things here is that there was a significant failure, right, on any view that allowed Callacane to be walking our streets and to do what happened here, the absolute worst and unthinkable. There are 8 reviews going on, right, across a number of different agencies, all of whom are looking at what happened. But what's the mission here legally? What remedy do we have?
Yeah, I think, firstly, you overplay my role in this. I think that at the end of the day, it comes down to groups of people that lead the charge, and you've got such a wonderful group of families here that, in such traumatic circumstances, have over the last 12 months done more than any lawyers could have done. They've had so many apologies from different agencies during that time. They've met the Prime Minister. They've got assurances from both sides of government. And we're there to facilitate, we're there to provide some support.
Well, aren't you looking for a public inquiry here? Well, I mean, if this family cannot be safe, surely it can happen again. It can happen again. I wonder whether that's really the mission of what you're after. This shouldn't happen to another family.
I think it's a case of when it happens again, not if. The catastrophic catalogue of failures leading up to this monster being out in society, and I refer to him as that because it mentally helps me, because he's a murderer. He was calculated and he knew what he was doing. Yes, he's mentally unwell, but how would anybody commit a crime like that unless there was something wrong with them? It wasn't an act of retaliation or gangs or drugs related. So therefore, there's no punishment to him. But the fact that he was out in the community and there were so many missed opportunities to stop him, so the medical profession failed. I don't know what his family did, but the 2 police forces had multiple opportunities to stop, to apprehend, and they didn't, did they?
No, they didn't. And I mean, there's a number of desired outcomes from this. Obviously, we want to make sure this man is never released. We want to effect change in the law, because at the minute it's an either-or. It's either murder, manslaughter, or not guilty through insanity. We want to effect change in the organisations and between the organisations. So where it goes wrong, it goes catastrophically wrong. So between different forces, between the police and between the NHS. And I think ultimately what the families want is an opportunity to sit back and to grieve properly for the loss of their loved ones, and not be caught in a myriad of processes where they're dealing with big-ticket organisations that are very apt and agile at defending the indefensible. Yeah.
Emma, yesterday was a day in the diary that anyone could guess would be hard, but I'm sure every day is hard. Are there rituals, are there things that you do to keep him alive for you, I guess, and deal with the loss?
Yeah, we talk about him all the time. We've not taken any of the photographs down at home. his bedroom door's open and I go in every night and I put the light on and then I switch off and I go to bed, or his dad does. And I know that Charlie's been in there because there's sort of a random collection of things on Barney's desk, like some yucky sweets that they both used to like, or if he's done a charity thing as a wristband. And I put some roses in his room this week that we've got the living flowers that were for his funeral. We were given one of the rose bushes and they're doing amazingly. So I cut some and Dave laid them yesterday in Hawkins Road. And yeah, so we do that. It's really hard to look at photographs. I can't look at videos. One day I will. But I think what I've got is clarity of mind now and some support and the hand on the shoulder with Neil Hudgels and Tim Maloney of Doughty Street, that I actually trust these people and they've offered to help us. I think that's what's really important. Not just us, not just the Kumar family, but the Coates family as well. And we need that because we need to get the answers to the questions. We have such concerns about how the case was handled. I know the prosecution and the CPS have had their review and it was overwhelming medical evidence. Just need to dig into that. And we won't stop until we ask those questions and, get answers to those questions, because we need to know what how and why there was so much delay with the doctor's reports and why they didn't speak to any other, collateral witnesses. But that's in time, but we need someone to take our hands.
And how that happened in the first place. Right, and thank you. Sorry.
It's wonderful that you are there for them and that the others are there for them.
We're so grateful, we genuinely are.
Thank you for being so brave.
Yeah.
We can see that it's very raw and, you're still in the process of it, and that makes it even more brave in my view. Can I give you a hug?
Thank you both. And good luck. Good luck. Now, if you've been affected by any of the issues we've been discussing, you can find advice and support at itv.com/helplines.